Good morning, everyone. Hope you're enjoying this taste of autumn. I hear that Walker had their first frost yesterday, and that'll be their first of many, I'm sure.
Well, we're going to read to you again, this time from John 20, verses 11 to 18. Thanks, Jen.
Now Mary stood outside the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb and saw two angels in white seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They've taken my Lord away," she said, "and I don't know where they've put him." At this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for?" Thinking he was the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you've put him, and I will get him." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned toward him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said, "Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I'm ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to the disciples with the news, "I have seen the Lord." And she told them that he had said these things to her.
Thanks, Jen. Reading again from Tim Chester's book, The Glory of the Cross. I'm sure you've seen the television shows in which we, the audience, know a long-lost relative is off stage, but the person concerned has no idea they're about to be reunited with their loved one. As this passage opens, that's what's about to happen to Mary. We can see it coming, but she has no idea. Mary's panic has given way to grief. We're told in verse 11 that Mary is crying, and then that she is weeping. Indeed, Mary is so grief-stricken that it seems she doesn't even notice two angels. They ask, "Woman, why are you crying?" And she doesn't say, "Wow, you're angels." In fact, this is one of the few occasions in the Bible where someone doesn't fall down in fear when they see an angel. But she barely seems to notice because she's so fixated on the missing body of Jesus. Then it happens all over again, but this time with Jesus himself. He asks the exact same question. "Woman, why are you crying?" Again, she expresses her distress, oblivious to whom is standing in front of her. And then he says, "Mary." Now she recognizes him and grabs hold of him. It's as if she is saying to herself, "This time I am never going to let go. I'm not going to let that happen again. I'm never letting him out of my grip." So Jesus says in verse 17, "Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, and to my God and your God." The resurrection means so many things. It is the confirmation of a finished sacrifice. It is the sign of our reconciliation to God. It is the promise of a new creation. But for Mary, the resurrection is personal. And so it is with us too. Our Saviour lives. He is present with us by his Spirit, and one day we'll see him face to face. He'll be as real to us then as he was to Mary that morning. But Mary's relationship with Jesus is not just for her. This encounter can't just be about Mary and Jesus. Jesus has a job for her to do. This is news to be shared. It's the same for us. If you pursue a cozy spiritual experience with Jesus on your own, he'll prove to be very elusive. You'll find Jesus in serving him. You discover more of him as you tell others about him, until that day when you will stand before him. And then he includes a couple of verses from a hymn by Samuel Medley in the late 1700s. "I know that my Redeemer lives. What comfort this sweet sentence gives. He lives, who once was dead, and reigns my ever-living head. He lives to silence all my fears, to wipe away my falling tears, to soothe and calm my troubled heart, all needed blessings to impart. Thanks for joining us again. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.